All right. So, welcome.
Welcome to the Prosperous Client.
Yes.
I am so excited for this masterclass. I want this to be something, my intention for this class, I just want to say it right out here, right out the gate, is through the moments that we have together this evening, I want to not just speak to your head, but I want to speak to your soul. I want to speak to your mission, what you're out for. I am calling forth your genius, that we leave this masterclass with an entire new way of being, an entire new way of thinking about how we grow and scale our coaching business online, that we are stepping into our missions fully, that we are no longer available to water ourselves down, that um, we
Don't have permission to
that's all
speak.
right. It
All right.
did not feel aligned anyway. So
Cool.
that's cool. We're gonna live
That's why we need to show up on live on
absolutely.
Zoom.
Yep. Um, and that we are fulfilling our calling and what it is that we're out for in the world. So what I know about you is that you are here for something. You know it within your soul. You can't shake it. It's like, what else in the world could I possibly do in my life? I'm here to be a coach. I'm here to make an impact. I'm doing it, and I'm going to give everything that I have because this is my life and this is my purpose in this life. So with that being said, do you want to
You're doing amazing.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to give you
Keep.
some too. Okay, so with that being said, I will just keep rolling. So if this is your first masterclass for us, I would love to know in the comments. Let us know if this is your first. If you've been here for a while, I see some familiar faces. It is great to see you. Let us know, what is your mission in the world? Like, who do you serve? What do you feel like your calling is with people? What is the impact that you make with people? And while we hear, I know there's a little bit of a delay. And if this is your first time, I want to welcome you. Hello. Now we're besties. My name is Holly Oxted. This is my husband, Chad Oxted.
Nice to meet you.
And we have been in business together for 7 years now. And before that, both of us have had our own success in different niches. Since 2013, we have been online. We have evolved with all of the things, going from when Facebook, you could run an ad for $2 and make a sale, post a meme with a link, and you got clients, to things are very different these days. And I think transformation and change is inevitable and it's necessary, and we get to stay up with the times and what works this time and era. But it didn't always start where we I'm the coach's coach. Like, who wakes up and says, I'm just going to work with coaches? Like, that definitely was not our story. In fact, we actually started with an agency.
Yeah, I want to check in real quick. Has everybody found the chat? So it's at the bottom in the very middle. It looks like a messenger app. Just kind of give me a hi. There we go. There we go. Thank you,
All right,
Cece.
perfect.
Thank you.
Yes, so this is and I wanna hear, everyone that is on camera, I see you, I love it. It's like, this is an energy thing. This is more than just having a strategy. This is like, you're here, let's be in it. Let's be fully here, and I'm fully here with you. Chad is fully here with you. We're gonna give you our all today. So, again, I wanna hear, what kind of coach are you? Who do you work with? What impact do you make with them? No, so Chad and I, we actually started.
Yeah, and then back to no, I know. Thank you, but I'm not letting them off the hook, right? You asked some questions, and so you said, have you seen us before? So is this your first time, or is this the you've been here several times? We're checking in. Hey Kenneth, welcome. So I want to make sure this is a two-way conversation. This isn't just, and this is everyone. I know there's a bunch of people. So if you're driving, you get a off the hook this one, but
Fontella, great to see you.
welcome. Visit several times. Awesome. Well, welcome first times. Welcome several times. First class, my impact as coach, master transformational coach. My ideal client is to help somebody sovereign. Process of breaking down survival and program environment. I have been doing this for 3 years. Congratulations.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Awesome.
First time. Awesome. Lots of first time.
Great to have you here.
Awesome. All right. Now, what were you saying? Again,
well, I figured there was a delay, but no, I acknowledge you. I thank you for that. You're amazing. All right.
Yes. see and hear all your purposes and who you work with, how long you've been doing it, all the things. Even if you want to drop, where you're from, you might have neighbors in here, and I know online can be lonely, right? And so when we can create community and create connection with everybody, it makes it even more fun.
Indeed. Yes. And when we can engage and talk with each other, it's amazing.
Hmm.
All right. So Chad and I have been together for 7 years online in our business together. We started off not working with coaches, right? Because we did not wake up one day and be like, we're going to be the coaches. Like,
Like
that was not the plan.
we did not decide to start a coach pyramid scheme.
No, that was not our intention at all. In fact, when we got together, we each had
Welcome,
our
Brittany.
own separate successes within our own industries, and we came together. We started in the affiliate marketing space, and we were both just burnt out on it. Like we wanted more substance. There was like something out there that was calling within our souls. The biggest thing that Chad and I ever had in common, which is still to this day why we work so well together, why we are so successful together, is because we have a vision for transformation and we have a vision for people. And so we took that vision and we're like, okay, let's get out of the affiliates and let's like create something really meaningful. So we started an agency. We're like, well, we know funnels, we know systems, we know ads, we know the automation, we know how this online stuff works. Let's do it for other people. Sounds great.
Not to brag, but Holly. So if you guys know what the award behind us is for, the one that looks like a rappers or something, and we have a gold record. It wasn't actually a gold record for streams. I guess is that how they do it? They say. But Holly actually won an award for more than $1 million through one sales funnel for a company called ClickFunnels. We got that in 2021, 2022. And so give her the freaking.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
So I love systems. I'm a systems girl. I love processes. I understand how it works. I am the techie nerd in the background, but I'm also like have a purpose and have a voice. And I just love this industry, right? So we started doing agency work. We started doing these done for you services where we did funnels, the email systems, the ads, you name it. We had a full blown agency. And at that time, we didn't quite have who we were called to work with down yet. So we just worked with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That meant we worked with knee pain doctors, hair restoration clinics. We worked with a neural performance coach. We worked with publicists. We worked with, I think there was a chiropractor in there. Like we had a lot of different
gutter.
Yes, we did a gutter cleaner project once. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Gutter cleaners. And what ended up happening, and how many of you guys know that when you are out of alignment with your calling, bad stuff happens. It's not pretty.
And I'm curious who here is in the I'm doing everything for everyone right now. I know not everything, but like as far as, you're a life coach or a health coach or whatever, but you work pretty much with everyone. I'm just curious who's in that realm of things and who's kind of gone, ooh, that doesn't necessarily really work. And I know I need to, I've narrowed down. I'm just curious on where the evolution of where everybody is gone so far. And keep going.
Awesome. So when you are out of alignment,
great job.
Not only does it feel yucky, it's like you guys are very conscious leaders. I know this about you, but it literally starts working in your body, and your body starts if you don't listen to the intuition, your body will be like, hey, loud and clear, this is not in alignment, stop. So I started actually becoming very miserable in our agency. Chad is a freaking incredible, I will. Chad is an incredible person when it comes to connections, and this guy could get clients like freaking fire. And so what I was doing here, we were living on the beach and doing all of these, on the outside looked like this amazing life. I was freaking hating it because I was sitting there writing copy about cleaning gutters, and I'm like, what in the world happened. I started online as a dream to be able to travel, to have this beautiful life of freedom. And here I am writing copy for a gutter cleaner company. And I just knew like I inside was absolutely miserable. And I knew that something needed to change. And go ahead, I know
Oh,
what you want to.
Terry, I love that newspaper. That's amazing. So, yeah. So this is the. I'll just back up like 3 weeks from where Holly was talking. Is we were actually uh, nomadic, and we're going to the beach and living on the beach and going to Orlando and like having all kinds of fun. And then we looked at our bank account and we go, holy crap, we're out of money. And so we call our accountant and we're like, hey, we're out of money and we don't know where to go. And she's like, come live with me for as long as you need.
Our accountant is still a very good friend of ours.
Very good friend. And so we showed up and she booted her 13-year-old grandson from his bedroom to the couch, and we got his bedroom. If you could think of stinky 13-year-old bedroom, that's what it was. And she had an extra office that we could take over. And we like got to work and we were like grinding our faces off, doing all the work, but nothing was working. And I remember we paid for an event through a company called Landmark. If it's a transformational coaching company, and we went there and we did a 3-day event, and it was literally all around integrity, and not in integrity being morality and it's like something's wrong, but integrity as in being in communication, honoring your word, being your word, all of those things. And I remember one of the things they told us to do was to get into communication for everywhere that were running out of, oh, yes, then so where you're out of integrity. And so we got into communication with a bunch of people. We said, we don't have any freaking money right now, but as soon as we do, we will pay you. And literally at the end of that week, we had we had an intention to do $5,000. We had no idea how that was going to happen. And so but then we had a $2,000 sale and then a $3,000 sale. And then I think the next week we had one of our friends call us and she's like, hey, I'm at this event. I have so-and-so here. Could you do a funnel for her? I quoted her $12,000. Could you do a $12,000 funnel for her? I'm like, I don't know. I'd have to learn more about the project, but I think that could work, right? And so we've literally doubled and tripled our prices over the week. And then we had another $10,000 sale and then another $10,000 sale. And we literally ended our month at like almost $40,000, where we'd never, I think the biggest months we had were $10,000, $20,000 ever in our businesses. And it was amazing. I proposed to Holly, went to the beach. If anybody knows New Smyrna Beach, I went there and I remember asking somebody to take the picture of me about to propose to her.
She thought we were about to ask for money.
She thought we were asking for money. She's like, no, I don't got any money. And I'm like, no, could you take a picture? I'm going to do something. And I showed her the ring and she's like, oh, she's all embarrassed. It was hilarious. but then I propose and then we go back to our accountant's house and we're like, what are we going to do next? And we were like kind of celebrating. And I remember Holly like leaning against the wall and then just sliding down the wall and then going into full convulsions. And I didn't know the hell was happening, called 911. Paramedics showed up and like no idea what was going on. And so when we got there, they were like asking us all like, what kind of drugs is she on? Like they basically thought we were just out for drugs. And that like, I don't know, she's faking the seizure to get drugs or whatever. Anyways, it just didn't feel good. So we like vowed to figure out this problem holistically because we didn't feel like the medical industry like really was out for us. And so we came back to her house and we're like, you know what, we got the money, let's go. And we just went nomadic again. And we were like, we're going to figure out this health stuff while being nomadic and stressing out our nervous system, moving every week or two. That was fun. And then we were invited to an event, and we're like, "No, Holly's health, having seizures. We're not going to go." And she like the person literally started, I think it was fake crying, and convinced us to come, like pulled on our heartstrings, like you have to come. You said you were going to, and all that. So we went to this event in California and we sponsored it. And it was literally the event that changed our life forever. Um, we had two clients that showed up to that event. One was the neural performance coach that Holly said. The other one is a publicist, great person, but very out for herself, not out to make an impact. Like the neural performance coach, was just really cared about her clients, was a leader, was really like out to really make this difference with a lot of people. And then
And so ultimately, the whole basis, and I want to kind of shorten this up because I really want to get to the meat and potatoes of this. And I see your questions in the comments. We're definitely going to talk about how this bridges into coaching.
yeah,
So uh, the entire message at the event was do what you love in the service of people who love what you do. And when we heard that, it did something within our very soul. And we both looked at each other and we're like, we get to make some shifts here because this isn't it. Like, who, like the money, great. But if you have a bunch of money and all this money is coming in and you were freaking miserable staring at the beach, like it doesn't matter. Right. And
what's up,
so
Rachel?
we came back working through our health stuff. I'm just, if it's okay, we just
Yeah, yeah,
want to go through.
go for it.
We could be here we could write a freaking book, and I'm sure one day we will. But working through the health stuff, we were able to, I did have a really big seizure. I think that is part of a big piece of this is I had a really big seizure, like really big. Had a lot of like a lot of things that happened, and I started working with a functional neurologist for years. And so this is where I started really getting nervous system regulation. This is where I started understanding the how important alignment was. This was when I started learning about eye movement and the brain and how everything was all connected together and the past experiences of what you went through and how it affects our future. Like, yes, through landmark, but then at a scientific, like your actual brain of how this all works. And it was a really powerful experience. And we discovered that ultimately, like if we were to do what we love in the service of people who love what you do, give me that neural performance coach who was so passionate about the work that she did, that she worked with her clients is with so much heart and soul that every time she worked with someone's life transformed. Give me the person
Emery.
who has the biggest heart and understands the ripple effect of their work and they've dedicated their lives to serve other people. Oh, my whole body is like feeling it to this day. We have been working with coaches for 7 years, no, 6
No,
years now.
7 years.
Has it been 7?
Or almost 7.
Almost 7. So those like from that moment, we're like, we need to work with these people. If we can bring our gifts and what we know to these people, that they can go and they can make systems and they can scale their business and they can get their messaging down and they can do all of the things that they need to do to fulfill on their calling, it's that. And we both felt it and we both knew it. And we have been doing this thing and we have committed our lives to serving people who know that they have a calling to make a difference and an impact in the world. So to answer your question, we started with a service-based business prior to the industry. I actually was an operations director for a multi-million-dollar coaching company where I developed programs for that company within like moments. Like you need a program, do this. So I literally have been helping coaches create programs for many, many, many years. And that moment when we were at the event, it just like triggered forget the agency, forget the gutters, forget the everything.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
My health was not working for a service-based industry. And I knew I was very, very out of alignment of what I was here to do. Very out of alignment.
Yeah.
So something definitely needed to change. And when you have a calling to coach people, like that's like you do it. And we're sharing this story because I know that you have a story of your own, of why you're a coach, of why you did the things that you do, right? We don't just work with strategy. We work with alignment. We work with energy. We work with identity shifting. We work with somatic work, with clearing things at a cellular level. Why? Because I had all of those seizures and I learned full on like embodied myself through all of the trauma, through all of the transformation of myself, through rewiring my own nervous system, reprogramming my subconscious. Like I get the power of it. And that's why we work with coaches, because I know how important it is. I genuinely believe with every cell in my body that coaches are the driving force of transformation in a world that needs it. Right. And I'm a stand for this industry. So that is why we do what we do. That is why we're here. And if I had to guess, that's probably why you're here as well.
Yeah.
So
And then when you're not working with the right people, you end up burning out. So I'm curious here, who has gone through burnout, who's like maybe had like things are rocking and then like maybe the business wasn't set up in a way that was aligned, or there wasn't the structures or systems in place, and it ended up leading to burnout. I'm just curious anybody that has been gotten through that. So after we came home, so we decided to go live with my mom, right? After that event, we were like, let's just focus and create a coaching program. We attract some freaking amazing coaches, which we'll talk about a few of them in this training and some of the cases. Actually, if you came in early, you might have saw a case study and testimonial from one of them. She had a program with 17,000 when she came in. Holly worked with her and added some value to it and ended up selling it for $33,000 for the year. This is what I'm talking about. Ideal client, like prosperous clients. This is like when you can sell something $33,000 for the year. That wasn't even actually her biggest program. Holly helped her create what we call the slap the donut out of your hand package. And what that package looks like is she would go live at somebody's house for 2 weeks, and she would jump out in the middle of the night and slap the donut out of their hand.
if necessary, she
If
went
that's
through their pantry. She helped them learn how to choose the right foods at the grocery store. She was with them all the time, helped them prepare their meal, teach them how to eat healthy. She did like the meditation and the mindset work right there in the home. So that was very powerful.
Yeah. So 2 weeks, $100,000, pretty sweet, right? So who's curious on how you start attracting those $100,000 clients? Not that they need to be 100,000, but like in the realm of things, these high caliber clients, these ones that have the money or find the money because what you do is valuable for them. So I'm curious on who's excited to learn how to do that. Um, and we want to touch really quick on the story that what happened next, because we're going to actually, do we want to share? Let's share the bullet points and then we'll go
Let's
in.
just tie in our story through all of it.
Okay.
We wrote all these notes and we're kind of off notes, but that's okay. I think there's more power in flow
Are
and
we off
honoring
key?
yourself. We are exactly where we need to be. So just to give you guys an idea of how long you're going to be here, we are going to be pouring into you for the next hour and a half-ish is what I'm going to say. Um, Again, our intention is that this is the best freaking masterclass and the most valuable thing that you've ever gone to. So what we're going to go through is we are going to talk about really the root cause, like understanding why maybe you're repelling your high caliber clients. Like maybe you're not getting the clients that you want. Maybe you're getting clients, but you know that they're not quite your ideal clients. We're going to talk about the root causes of what that is for. We're also going to be talking about your messaging, right? How to shift your messaging so that you are speaking directly to your ideal clients. It's like when people hear you, they hear you, right? You're not just talking to everyone, you are speaking directly to your ideal people. How do you do that? How do you create a process from that? How do you craft this powerful message? And then lastly, we're going to talk about positioning yourself as the go-to authority. There's a lot of coaches out there. I don't know how long you have been a coach. I know we have some here that have been coached for 3 years, 4 years, a couple years. There was a big splurge of coaches and people want to be coaches, right? So how do you position yourself as the expert, the go-to? When people see you, they know that you're the one. So we're going to be going through all of that. So real quick, who this is for, I think you guys have gotten it. I believe all of you guys are in the right place. If you know you have a calling, you know that you're doing big things in the world. You're not just out to do big things in the world, like you're doing it. Right? And I heard someone, maybe you don't have all of the pieces together. Someone said it so beautifully once, is they feel like they have all of the pieces, they just don't know how to put it together.
Mhm.
And what we do is we make sentences out of alphabet soup. So you are in the right place.
Yes.
Um, did you have something that you wanted to
Yeah,
say?
well, I think we're still in this health journey. We created the coaching program. We're starting to attract these amazing clients. And then I remember I went out with some friends for my birthday, and I came home, and Holly was like in the midst of like the what seemed like the most severe seizure that I've ever seen her be able to do. Usually I'm able to get her to snap out of it because I'm right there, mouth to mouth, dump CBD down her throat, electrolytes, anything to pop her out of it. And I came in, she looked like she'd already been seizing for 20, maybe 30 minutes. And I did all the things, and finally she came out of it, and she looked at me and she said, where am I? And then, who am I? Like, she didn't know who
Who are
she
you?
and who am I? Yeah, no, excuse me. Who are you? Right. And she didn't know she had kids. She didn't know about her business. She didn't know any of it. And at that point, we're like, what do we do? Like, I don't know how to move forward. She's like, what were we doing like in the last week? And I've told her that we were doing a webinar. And I remember she's like, okay, let's do that. Oh no, first we made a post on Facebook. And we made a post on Facebook where we said we told everybody what happened, that Holly lost her memories, and if she'd made an impact with anybody, like to like remind her the impact that she made with people. And she had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people like telling her how much of an impact that she had already made with them. And so she's like, I need to move forward with us, right? And I remember she's like, I wanna figure out what we're doing while creating this webinar. So she's going through it, and I remember we end up doing the webinar, and I remember at the one point we had an award, like a glass, like looked like a coaster. She's like, and this guy gave us this coaster. It was for making like $10,000 in a month or something. It was hilarious. So, but that was a rough point because it was like we had to figure out we go to a functional neurologist, and we're doing all the things, and it just didn't seem like it was really getting better. And
I
so,
believe that every circumstance and things in our life happens for a reason, and it happens to serve us for a great purpose. And during this season is when I started going back, I started looking at everything. Like, I had no stories, I had no memories, I had no like nothing holding me back. Very fascinating, actually. Side note, I could literally do the splits because I didn't have any trauma or anything in my body at that time. So what I did is I literally, as I was going through the slides in the webinar, I was looking at past clients and their projects and what we did and the process that they went through and how they did all of this. And I looked to see like when someone did this, this, and this, it was amazing. When this was not there, it was not amazing. We had clients who had really great results. We had clients who did not have so great results. Through this process, our entire model of what we teach, what we do, like what we've lived through, all of it was created. We call it the called coach approach. We're going to share some of this today as well. This was how this got started. So what you're learning today is not we went to a training, we learned it, we took some notes, and now let's go teach it. Like, we have been in the trenches here, creating, discovering, learning, messing up. I don't know if any of you guys are into human design, but I am a 3-5 projector. So I am like, my role is to make mistakes and to share my wisdom so you don't have to. So I am fully embodied and aligned. I know the importance of alignment, and I believe that not every one person, and this was just to show like none of you are the same. So to give you a cookie cutter thing that is just for you is not gonna it's not gonna work to just have a cookie cutter thing. We are all uniquely designed, and we need to create our business that is in alignment with us. Otherwise, non-ideal things will happen,
yeah.
right?
So who wants to see the model that Holly ended up coming up with, the called coach approach? Holly even has a song. If you ask her, she might sing it. No, not
No,
gonna sing it.
I don't
Okay.
remember the song.
There was a song.
I barely
But
remember the song. Call coach approach, it's one of a kind. There we go. All right. That's all you guys got.
but we haven't got any responses. So does anybody want to see this? I know there's a little bit of a delay, but um, just kind of checking in, getting some permission and whatnot. It's a good thing to do. Did you guys like the song? Yes. Awesome.
All right, let's pull up the called coach approach.
Okay,
So
it's not in here anymore. They have changed so much. All right, new whiteboard. Love this song.
thank
Thanks.
you. Talk about self-expression.
There you go.
Oh, you lost your audio. I hope you got the song. If not, you can catch it on the replay.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna draw this out and go through it here real quick, and then we'll come back to it here throughout the training. So ultimately, when you have all of this down, it is like the complete picture of what is really required to have a successful, whether it's you're working towards 6 figures, 7 figures. I'll say if you have all of this, this is going to get you to multiple 6 figures within your business. Then you got to start talking about more systems and team and everything to get to 7. So circles are perfect. What we know about you is that you ultimately are here, you're doing this work to fulfill on your calling. Now, what does that mean? What does that look like? What is that? It's like that's so broad, right? But ultimately, it's like if you can build the freedom for your own life, freedom to do what you want, when you want, where you want, however it is that you want, it's to have the impact with other people. You're messing up my flow
Oh,
here.
whoops.
You're good.
Oh, we're gonna do
Just
this.
do just
Yeah, I'll
do
just do it that way.
impact. It's here you're here to make an impact with other people, right? It's not just about you. It's about having the impact with others. And it's also about building the wealth. It's having a life when money is an enhancer of who people really are. So if we can make these people who have a calling and they have a heart to make a difference and an impact in people's lives to build that wealth for yourself, the world becomes a better place because just who you are. Is there a way?
Sorry, wait, what?
Oh, I just see like drawings and stuff. So now how do you do that? Let's talk in.
Mhm.
There's 3 things that ultimately you get to really have in place. The first thing is to attract, right? You are attracting your ideal people. The second thing is you can have the largest audience in the world. There are influencers who have hundreds of thousands of followers and they don't make a single dime, maybe $100. You have to have a powerful transformative program to enroll people in. And then lastly, there's a transformation within yourself that gets to happen. So let's break these down just a little bit more. So the attract, how do you attract people? That sounds great. Well, we call it the impact marketing system. So this is being able to have a system and bring people through like not knowing who you are to, okay, you're kind of cool. I think I like you. What you're saying is resonating with me. And then ultimately, like, okay, you're the one for me. I'm hiring you. What does this look like? Right. So having a system in place to be able to do that. Having an attracting your ideal people is really creating a movement. When you can create a movement where it's not just about you, hire me. I'm a coach. I can help you change your life. Like, I can help you save your life. That's the worst messaging ever, right? But when you're creating a movement of people who are standing for something and they come together, it is powerful. And then lastly is this audience amplifier. Now that you have an audience, you're building an audience, how do you maintain visibility? How do you grow your audience and get yourself out there in a powerful way? Now, the second piece, or in this enrollment piece, what that looks like, we call it the True North offer.
Well, really quick, I want to talk about so just really quick, you can have the attraction down. We had a client, John, he did he could put in 1,000 people into a group overnight. He could
Literally.
literally, like, and he's been able to do this forever. And when he came to us, he was making no money in his business. And he kept on referring clients. He referred like 5 clients. And then he came to me, he's like, hey, can I refer clients to you? And then I'll get into the program. I'm like, no. And the reason I did that is because he couldn't enroll people to save his life. And he had all kinds of like hangups around money and blah blah. And so he got to work through that. And that was before we really were working on that stuff with clients. But he came back like 6 months later, and he'd made some money. So I'm like, okay, you pay some money, you refer clients, and we'll come in, we'll let you come into the program. And he literally went from pretty much nothing to $16,000 in his first month with us, and ended up doing about $40,000 in the first like 60 days or so. And it was really impressive. But now he's done he's had $83,000 months. That's been like his best month since.
Now, we're
Which,
not guaranteeing that you're going to do that, but we are going to be sharing some pretty big numbers here of what's possible. Just wanted to throw that disclaimer out.
Marcella's not typical.
All of that, all of the disclaimer things. Yes. So you can have a big audience, but that's not going to matter. You really want to get this enrollment process down packed as well. So first things first, you need an offer. This is your program. This is how you present your program. This is how you communicate your program. This is having a program that you can bring in a lot of people, but it still has a high touch and it still makes a difference in a transformation with people. Right? So how do you set that up effectively? This next piece is we call it the empowered client attraction pathway. So having a pathway, again, we're systems people. So having a pathway of, okay, you can have a system to be able to build your audience and grow your audience, but how do you take your content and convert it into clients, right? That's a whole different conversation of enrollment and different systems. And then from there, making sure that you are delivering and your clients are having success and that process, right? We had this conversation about integrity from We Are Landmark's graduates. So I saw a lot of people, I love Landmark, us too. We've gone through team and we went through a lot of the bigger programs through Landmark. So integrity is big for us. So making sure that you deliver on what you say you're going to with your clients. And if you need to put a system in place and some of the back end stuff to do that, that's how you're going to be able to grow and scale. So in this transformation piece, there's a few things that you get to do. Ultimately, in order to hold, if you make a lot of money and you don't have this wired in your nervous system, what can happen is that money can go right back out the door. Like, oh crap, I just made $20,000. I'm going to give it away to charity. What do my family need? I'm going to give it to them. Like, what? I don't even know. I've heard some stories of even, client coaches who have gotten a large amount of money and they couldn't hold it in their body, right? And having a business is it's one thing to be a coach and it's another to be an entrepreneur and run the business and have the back end and do the systems and the delivery and create the content. Like having nervous system regulation really, really matters. So that's a huge piece, and that's a piece I'm very passionate about, hence all of my seizures and everything that we went through. So I'm seeing a huge whiteboard with something very small in the upper left.
Can you see the whiteboard? Can you see the things on the whiteboard? Can everybody see?
Co-editing. Am I supposed to be seeing something else? Do you know what? You might need to scroll into that small thing that you see in the upper left. And if anyone else is having that challenge as well. I'm not sure how to take co-editing out the new whiteboard. Okay, yes, you can see.
Same.
Okay, good.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Checking in.
Awesome. So let's talk about the unstoppable equation. You see the whiteboard. Good, good, good. Okay. So the unstoppable equation is exactly what it sounds like. Is, a lot of business coaches will tell you to do the work, have the skills, put in the focus, boom, results. How many of you guys have put in the work, you have the skills, you put in the focus, and what the heck, I'm not getting the results?
Or the results that you want, right? You're like, I'm out for 20, 30,000, $50,000 months, and I'm working hard, I'm focusing, I've put in all the skills, and it's just not getting the results. So, because there's more to it, right? And that's why all like these business coaches, I find that there's two types of business coaches. There's the floppity hat ones that think that you can just meditate and do nothing. And then there's the grow scaling ones in the muscle shirts that basically tell you to grind your face off for 16 hours a day, and you got to work really hard and all of that. And it's like neither of those are really the way. We have to find some sort of happy medium to that.
And so what is not put into consideration with that is that every single one of us within our bodies, we hold, whether it's We call them addictions and allergies, whether it's an addiction to a certain pattern that could be completely unaware. Like this could be a pattern of chaos. It could be a pattern of drama. This could be a pattern of failure. Like who, everyone has them and there's nothing wrong with them. Or if you have an addiction of like money, let's say, well, what's going to happen is like if you're addicted to, or if you have an allergy of like gluten, right? You push that away. I don't want any of that. I cannot have gluten, no bread for me. Like you can have that over there. Well, if we have an allergy of some sort energetically to the things that we want, we're going to very subconscious and energetically. This is not a conscious thing that we do at all because consciously, hello, we're putting in all of the work. Why isn't this happening? Right. So there's a lot of this that is stored in our body that we get to work through. And this is really that transform piece. And then the energetics is who you be, how you show up. Are you in alignment with your soul gifts? Are you in alignment with your genius points? Are you, we have a quiz that's called the Impact Marketing Archetypes. It's really your soul gifts. Are you in alignment with your archetypes? Go
I'm
ahead.
curious who here took the archetype quiz, and if you remember what archetype you are. I'm curious. So,
Yeah, because when you're in alignment with your strengths, man, like the energy completely shifts, right? There's an embodiment that happens. And when you can create your entire business around your gifts and your strengths and your genius, if you are, we have a connector, awesome. So if you're a connector, this movement piece is huge for you. Like being able to connect and build relationships is like, do you have that in your strategy? Or are you like, I'm just gonna make a bunch of content and then people are gonna find me? That may not be the thing, right? So being able to create your process in alignment to who you are transforms
as me,
absolutely everything.
I'm a connector and organizer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to figure out the logistics of two, but we actually have a main one and a secondary one.
Yeah. So if you
Organizers the house.
see this and you're like, I need support with all of this, or maybe one of them, or maybe a few of them, or whatever, and you're like, I'm ready. I'm ready to get support. I'm ready to get guidance. There's a link I just dropped in the chat. Just go ahead and click that and pick a time, and then we can just kind of keep going with the training. And you can pick a time we can jump on, kind of see if it's a good fit. There's nothing for sale on the first call. And it's just really about seeing if it's aligned. So
Can we go to?
yes.
All right. So now that we're in this, we kind of ended off on this conversation of what we hold in our body, our energetics, our genius. In that conversation, let's talk about now why you might be repelling clients. Because if I had to guess, all of you guys are showing up online. You're creating the content, you're doing the
I'm
thing.
curious, well, here, who is creating content on a regular basis? Like, who creates daily content? Give me a daily, and then who keeps like weekly content? Like I'm creating weekly content, and then I don't know. Monthly content, any
Yeah,
month,
content,
any
what do I
monthly
do?
content?
Nothing wrong. How do
Weekly?
we define content? Content as in you're posting, maybe you're doing stories, maybe you're doing videos, but there's some sort of value that you're putting out there on social media on a daily, weekly, consistent basis.
Yeah.
3 to 4 times a week, daily, at least weekly. I do not on social media.
Got it.
Awesome. Okay. So let's identify some root causes of what is going on because you're posting all of the things. And we had this conversation about allergies and addictions. And, is there something subconsciously, right? First thing, this is one of my favorite conversations. I have a lot of favorite conversations when it comes to all of this. It's like everything is my favorite, but that's how it's supposed to be. If you don't love what you do, then don't do it anymore. It's too important to go do what you love in the service of people who love what you do. Having this conversation of your identity and who you be, like how you see yourself, is the energy that you project. That's why doing our work is so important, right? It directly influences the type of clients that you attract And if you're stuck in an identity of what you're holding of yourself that doesn't align with the level of success that you desire, then you're going to continue to attract clients who reflect the old version of you.
Mm,
There
mhm.
was a mentor that said something to me a couple years back. It's like, you do not have the results that you want yet because you are not the person that can hold those results yet and to lead what it is that you want to do. And that was like, whoa, okay, what do I need to do? What does that look like? And I started like moving in this pathway of like, okay, I know I got to develop my leadership skills. I know that I got to like I had a ton of trauma that I had to work through. I mean, we took like probably 2 years, 3 years of like dark soul moments and hypnotherapy and just some major work internally of worthiness for me. And I'm so open to sharing about this. Because this is part of the story. This is every single thing that you go through. There is someone who needs to hear it when you get on the other side. Right? I had a big problem with people pleasing. I had a big problem with worthiness issues. So what do you think? Even if I came up strong, like, nope, I'm gonna do it. Like, I ain't gonna people please no more. Let's go. Well,
And,
if there's something internally and energetically that even I may not have acknowledged yet or fully embodied yet, people feel that.
and you're sharing, so I figure I'd be sharing too.
Aw.
I'm a recovering asshole. So
Yes. And so people will be like, dang, we've had clients, before we were really present to like, how do you hold yourself? What's your resting bitch face look like? That's like sometimes I still have to catch myself when we're live and Chad's talking. Like, is my face, do I look like a raving bitch? Right? Like those things they hold, they take and like
are you
people.
growling at me while I'm
No,
talking?
me too. Everyone has that resting bitch face. But those things they project an energy out to someone. So it's not to the point where you have to, be a people pleaser and make sure like you standing up straight and smiling all the time or it's fake. It's like, can you just be where, I have really great posture and I am aware, there's literally someone who didn't hire us before after she went to our master class and she saw us together because I had that resting bitch face. She thought that I had resentment towards him and like she didn't want to deal with all of the relationship stuff. And I'm like, okay, I can be radically responsible for that. There must have been something in there. And then what can I do to shift that? Right. So I want to dive deeper into this aspect of identity because I think it's a huge piece that I just continually, this is a continuous process. I believe we are always growing, we are always evolving, and especially as coaches, we get to be in this work even more than our clients are. Right. So I said in the beginning of this, I want to speak to your highest form because I know that it's already in you to be the person that is out to get the results that you want. So I'm speaking to that person right now. So I want to talk about your self-perception and be like super real because your self-perception refers to how you see and how you value yourself and in your professional role. It encompasses your beliefs about your worth, your capabilities,
Yeah,
and
well, let me bring something up really quick. It comes down to, so I heard something earlier today that it's like you're attracting clients, right? And I remember I used to teach our clients to dumb down your language so people could understand your messaging, right? You could understand, or that they would get the concepts of your thing. But this is the thing. There's language that speaks to leaders and speak to people that are, this is the thing, and this is gonna hurt some people here, maybe, is that people that are not doing a big thing in the world don't hire coaches. Like, even if it's not for business or career or anything like this, it's like this. If your health, you know how much easier it is like somebody that's really driven and motivated and like really out for big things in their life to for them to hire a health coach because there is something that they're out for in the world that their health stuff is getting in the way of them achieving. The people on the couch are not going to hire you, like most likely. Like you can convince them to hire you, but those are gonna be the worst fucking clients ever, and you don't want them. So if there's a conversation, and so that would be, she said genius to turkey. She's like, if you're communicating to your clients like they're turkeys and you're a genius, then you're going to attract turkey clients. But then there's the other side of it, is if you don't see yourself as a genius because you are a genius at what you do, right? You're like, there's an expertise in you, that there's like, it's funny. I make posts, and maybe some of you guys have seen posts in Facebook groups, and that's maybe where you came from and where you found us. And I say, like, who will admit that they're a genius in what they do? And there's so many people like, no, who's an expert in what they do? But and so many people are like, I'm not an expert. I'm like, and I'm like, they won't own that they're an expert, even though, like, I'll be like, well, how long have you been doing what you do? I'm like, oh, well, like 10 years. And like, I have like 6 certifications in this thing. Well, you're not an expert. You've helped hundreds of people, but they won't call themselves an expert because they could potentially learn more. I'm like, that's ridiculous. So you are a freaking expert, right? And so if you are coming from an expert place and you're speaking to your clients as genius, so you're a genius and they're a genius because they get there's something that's important to them, something they're committed to, and it's not like you need to speak to them like they're a genius in what you do. They're a genius in life and like leader and like those type of things. When you speak to that, that's when you get those clients. Awesome. Hell yeah.
Awesome. And I believe that there's continuous stages of this. So we actually have a very high level client who works with very high level people to the point where it like blows her mind of like, I can't believe this is even real. Like what? Right. And I don't want to give too much information about her, but she like works with top people in big fields. And so this imposter syndrome is a real thing across like the higher you start going and working to people who are playing big and working to these leaders, that imposter syndrome, we gotta get through and start reprogramming and really owning like, yes, you freaking deserve to work with the absolute best of the best of the best people, right? You absolutely are qualified, you're capable, you are freaking have so much experience. But there is, and I've seen it multiple times, not just with this client, but with multiple people of this imposter, like, who am I to make a difference with other people? Who am I to work with, people who are making 6 figures or people who are like really out there, doctors and CEOs and C-suites and like who am I to do that? Well, if there's a like who am I to do that? There's something that we get to work through because your energy and your presence, people feel it, right? High caliber clients are drawn to confidence. They are drawn to leadership. They want to work with someone who feels like an equal. It's like that the genius to genius, power meets power. I see you, I see your expertise. I have an expertise, and this is you have the gap of what I need. Let's freaking go.
Mhm.
But if you are faltering or watering down your message or any of those things, people aren't going to hire you because they can feel it. And they may not even know what it is. I don't think anyone's looking like, oh my gosh, her energy is just freaking whacked. I'm not doing it. But it could be a like, I'm scrolling, and then they just keep scrolling. So how do we shift our entire energy and our presence so that other perceives and knows that we have this embodied leadership and this confidence and that we are the expert in how we present, how we talk, how we write, all of these things matter. So, how do we do this? Right? This is a continuous thing. This is the rewiring of the nervous system. This is through practices of meditation and breath work and being aware of how we carry ourselves. Breathwork has made a major difference. I so much so I'm a like I became a breathwork facilitator. Like, how do I bring business and breathwork together because it matters? It makes such a difference to come from a place of groundedness. So people are more likely to be turned off by me telling like it is. You know what? Some people might be, but those aren't your people, because the right people, when they hear you, if I had to guess, and I don't know if you took the archetypes, but if you are a truth seeker and you are here to freaking speak truth to people, and not everybody's going to like it, but it's the person, like, when you're seeing it and, like, you're saying, like, how it is, and you're this thought leader, there are some people that are gonna be like, "Ew, I don't like that." No. But there's gonna be people who be like, "Holy crap, that's freaking fire."
Yep.
And you're here for the people who are saying, "Holy crap, that's fire," not the like, "Oh, who's this person?" This is where we water down our message because we think that people aren't gonna like it.
Mm-hmm. Which we'll get into next time, the next
Yeah.
thing.
So, I love breathwork meditation. Yes. I need to figure out who my audience is. Yeah, that's a big one. It's a big one. The next piece of this identity concept is having blah, blah, blah. I'm like, talk about being grounded, standards and boundaries.
You're grounded.
Grounded. So the standards that you hold for yourself, who was it? This was years and years ago. I was, you know, I didn't go into like my deep origin story of when I started my business and I literally worked in the ghetto and like food stamps and went to the food bank. Like, well, I have a whole story. I'm telling you, I could write a book. But I remember someone said to me, when you raise your standards, you will raise your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And I took that to heart. So standards and boundaries. How often of when we have clients like, oh, they message me at 11 o'clock at night, I'm putting my kids to bed. Hold on 1 second, kiddo. Let me text back. Let me message them back. Like high caliber clients are attracted to people who can hold this high standards for themselves and they aren't afraid to set boundaries. I freaking love literally one of my mentors. She set such a strong boundary from the very moment, and when she like, anytime I hear this is so weird, this is an awareness, I'm gonna say it. So anytime I hear someone really set a strong boundary for themselves, I like my heart is like, "Yeah, yes, thank you." I love it. I love when people set a boundary for themselves. It shows me that they respect themselves, they honor themselves, and that they value their time, their expertise, and the quality of work that they put out. Right? Like, so for me, when it's the weekend, it's the weekend for me. I take that weekend, I restore. I have a 4-year-old, I'm with my family. Like, that is my boundary that I have. After a certain amount of time, like in the morning, my morning is my boundary. Like after 8, yeah, I'd say about 8:30, I'll go in Messenger and I'll be there. But before that, I'm at the gym, I'm in my own personal time, I'm with God, like, that's my time, that's my boundary. So, do you have standards and boundaries that you have set up to a very high level because your high caliber clients will freaking love you for it?
And have you communicated them? Because some people they create see there's a difference between boundaries and expectations.
Mm,
So some people
so
have
good.
expectations in there of like, you're not gonna do this, you're not gonna do this, but they never actually communicate it. That's a difference between boundaries and expectations. So we have like, oh, how dare you message me on the weekend, or how dare you message me at like 12, but you've never said that you're not going to respond at that period of time. So like, unless it's like it's the communication creates boundaries. If it's not communicated, it's just an expectation that's in your head, and that just creates frustration in you.
And for your clients, like,
That too.
if your clients have this expectation and you haven't clearly stated what those boundaries are and the container and what this all looks like.
Yeah, like some of our programs get chat support, some do not get chat support. Some of them get one-on-one calls, some of them don't get one-on-one calls. And it's very clear in whatever program they join in what kind of support you're getting. So it's really powerful.
Yeah. So, standards and boundaries.
Mhm.
So, again, and I'm kind of bringing this whole transformation piece together because it all ties together between the nervous system regulation and the unstoppable equation and this energetic alignment piece, right? Back to the gifts, right? Being in your gifts, not just your gifts. So I'm like, human design keeps coming to me to talk about. It's something that I have I have done the classes, I've done the courses, I've done the things, and I've fully lived into this projector, and I fully have said where like I don't really like human design because I think it puts people into a box. Like, there are so many trainings out there that say if you're a projector, you have to go stare at a wall until someone invites you. I'm like, that's not the way. That doesn't resonate with me. And there are pieces of human design that can be so powerful of understanding how your energy works and honoring your energy. Because when you get results and when you get big results, and it's like it's not going to make sense to anyone, but it's when you're following your intuition and your flow and how you work best, freaking insane things can happen and, like, mind-blowing.
Yeah. Who here is into human design or know anything about human design? What are you? Drop it in the chat. Love to hear it. I'm a manifest generator. What am I? Something
You are a 4-6.
4-6. There you go.
Yeah, manifesting generator.
Fake girl, I can actually make a decision. It's pretty sweet.
I can make a decision, I just get to be
Take
through all
the
my
week.
I get to be through all my feels and experience all my feels. I think it's
Nice.
big. Yes, I see, I'm not the only emotional projector here, so you get it. We gotta go through all of the feels.
Uh,
Yeah, the Enneagram, like, it's all powerful. So, I've been an Akashic practitioner for 2000 since 2000, a long time. And so between human design and reading soul prints and the Akashic records, and that's ultimately how I developed the archetypes, because I wanted something, I'm like, "How can I get this at a much larger scale?" But so knowing yourself, who when you know thyself, how powerful you are, it matters so much to have the support of people who get that you're different and get that you know who you are, so that you can work together with them and create something to exactly who you are.
yeah, so let's talk about Laurel. So Laurel was a client of ours that came. She was doing about $2,000 a month results. I mean, obviously she was before us, and her business is kind of like all over the place. She had no following on social media really. She had clients that she got in person, a lot of referral type stuff. And when she came to us, she was very not confident in herself, not very kind of scattered, kind of just a little bit challenging to coach, I'm not gonna lie. And after Holly working with her and doing a lot of the work that we talked about today and just going through the program, one, her like social media blew up, right? TikTok, she now has videos between Instagram and TikTok. She has over 20 million views. She had no views on nothing before this program. 20 million views, which we didn't really coach her on TikTok. It was all the energetics.
All the like,
Yeah.
black and white to when we started, very quiet,
Yeah.
just very quiet,
Hmm.
to she just has so much self-expression, and she has come alive into who she really is and come back home to herself in such a powerful way. You can see it in the demeanor, her color in her face, how she shows up, like, it's the most beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And she's continually bringing in clients. We just talked to her today, like, she's doing freaking amazing navigating through
Hiring
business.
teams
And all of the
it's
stuff
amazing.
and it's, I'm not gonna say, like, she's great and she lived happily ever after, right?
Still
Because
dealing with stuff.
that's not how life is. Nobody is exempt, but it's how you hold yourself through the things, and it has been absolutely remarkable. And just what the power of this energetic work and this identity shifting and this reprogramming at a cellular energetic level. Like, it's like cellular but and energetic, and like bringing it all together and then taking the actions to solidify it is really the process that we do here.
Yeah, so we went from no views, 2,000 to $4,000 a month to she just signed $35,000 in clients the other month. Results not typical, all that stuff. But then now we're just creating the system and just scaling from there. She doesn't even have a group program. She's still doing one-on-one, which she's starting to get packed out on. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I want to try to read Terry's
Um,
spiritual gift testing. There are tips for how you publicly Absolutely. So unless you're like, Terry, these will be different, but Terry, what you see is what you get. So that's the thing. Everyone is different, but then you get to, this is why know thyself is so important, is like, and this is great, like with example for
Ooh,
Laurel,
you
is
sleeping
this like
Phoenix.
who she is like quiet over here, or was that something that was like she wasn't her full self-expression of who she really is,
Yeah.
right? So there's a discernment of,
Yeah, it's good. It's a good thing of like, is it a block or is it design? And so it's like getting rid of all the blocks and then really being able to fully embody your
you know what, if
your
you work better one-on-one, like freaking own that. I literally, there's a girl on my audience, she's popping up to me right now that she only, and she's very adamant, this is her standards and her boundaries. I only work with high caliber one-on-one containers, and I'll only hire one-on-one high caliber containers. That's who she is, right? Because she knows her gifts, she knows her strengths, she works best with one-on-one. That's her jam, and she's very vocal about it.
Yep.
So I think it's freaking beautiful, and it's the most magical thing that we're all different.
So I dropped a calendar. So if you're like, yes, I need all of that, let's book a call, see if it's good fit, see if it's aligned. And it's 15 minutes, there's no sales. It basically we just see if it's aligned, and if it is, then we book another call and we go much deeper into how we can support you.
Okay, so now we covered the first thing. How do you get this prosperous clients? It's a being within yourself first. It's the energy, it's the alignment, it's who you be, it's the identity that you evolve into. Now, the second thing is your messaging. So how do you shift your messaging to speak directly to your ideal clients? I have heard this I don't want to say this controversy of niching down. We'll put that way, where you don't have to niche down. You do have to niche down. Like, do you? Don't you? What are like all of those things? So here's what I'm gonna say to that, because niching down doesn't mean that you can't be multi-passionate. I am definitely like, I saw a sweatshirt says the mother makes the dough. So I'm in my sourdough era. I love to bake. I have a child. I love dogs. Like I am definitely all over passionate, have hobbies, and everything is my favorite thing. So niching down doesn't mean that you can't be multi-passionate. You absolutely can be. However, there is a difference. If you were to stand on a rooftop, be like, hey, I can transform your life. I am a master life coach. I got you. Hire me and we can transform all of it. Like people are going to look at you like, okay, and then keep walking. But if you were to whisper, hey, mama, I know that you're struggling every morning trying to figure out your dreams and how to hold, like, get you're healthy and have a successful business and be the mom that you know that you are. I have a system. I've done this with many, many moms. I got something for you. That mom is going to be like, whoa, wow. Okay, yes, I want to be healthy and I want to have a business and I want to be able to hold it all. And I don't know how to do that. It's driving me crazy. Do you know what it's like to have a toddler? Yes, I do. Come with me. Right. So the more you can speak to your ideal people, the clearer they're gonna be like, "Oh, this person gets me. They're the one for me." Because that's what this is all about. This is you are the one. You just what if your dream clients aren't ignoring you? It's not that they're not showing up. It's not that they're not hiring you. They just don't know that you're speaking to them. So this is what I do when I create content. Anytime I go live, I'm not thinking of like, what should I talk about? What should I say? What do I need to post? I'm thinking about my clients. What did they go through yesterday? What conversations have we had? What do you need as someone who I know that you are here for a calling? I know that you have all of the pieces and you don't know how to put it all together quite yet. I know that you've had some results, but I know that you may be great to everyone else, but you got a lot more inside of you and you know that you're not playing full out yet. I can speak directly to that because I'm speaking directly to my ideal people. So how are you shifting your messaging, right? Your messaging is the bridge between you and your ideal clients. So before you go on camera, before you start writing that post, whatever you got to do, I even like to get in my heart space. If I got to do breath work, if something isn't coming, I'm like, I'm a mom. I have a baby. She's not a baby anymore. She's 4. I have a 4-year-old. So it's not like I can just go to the computer and be like, oh, I'm going to write up my content. And then she's screaming like, mom, I need you. Mom, right? Like, I'm not going to come up with these inspired ideas. So there's times like I go back to the breath, I get grounded, I come into my heart space, step into my soul of like, okay, I'm here. I'm here to serve people who have such a high calling in the world. I'm here to serve the leaders. I'm here that the ripple effect is going to be so massive that when I speak, people hear, and that they go to the dinner table and they say, hey, I saw this girl online and she's doing this thing and she just spoke to my soul. And then your kiddos, they heard this and they're like, wow, mom's going to live their dream and she's going to go do these cool things. That means that I can dream. Well, what do I want to be? Or who do I want to be when I grow up? And then they go to the schoolyard. And like, I think about that stuff before I ever go live, that it's not about me and making sure that I say the right thing. It's that like, I'm so clear on the mission of you and for me and what this all looks like on a collaborative experience. And I speak straight to that. And that's how we've had the most remarkable people in our world. We had a woman, she was so self-led, so courageous in what she does. She's freaking phenomenal in how she leads herself. And she's committed for the year with us because she knows like there was something that was said. And she was like, Holly and Chad, you guys are the one I'm in. And that comes with the being and it comes through your words. And this comes again, I'm going to keep going back to the archetypes and who you are because it matters. If you are a healer, you speak healing and life into people. People naturally open up to who you are. You understand them. You don't hold any judgment to them and they feel safe speaking to you. Are you speaking into that? You want to know your clients so well, or your ideal clients. And this is where, the imposter syndrome and all that stuff will get in the way because you get in your head. Can we get out of our head and into the other person where we don't make our business about us and that we're doing it right or that we need to have all of this stuff together, but we're serving from a place of heart for our people? That is literally the only thing that I do when my content is effective. And when my content doesn't land, it's because I was too in my head. So if you are a truth seeker, are you activating people? Are you speaking truth? Are you not watering down your message? There was something that I just got back. I took a little trip and took a couple days with my family up in Ohio. I have other kiddos up there that are all grown. So as I was with them, when you don't nail your messaging and when you water down your messaging so that people understand you or people don't get mad, or there's this like cancel culture out there of people have blasted out names and all of these things that happen online because the internet is the internet and the people on the internet are the people on the internet. But what happens is we have this fear and we water down what we say. And then what happens is we don't attract our ideal people because we've watered down our message. And then what happens from that is they don't get the service and the transformation that they came for. There's a mismatch of expectations. Boundaries weren't created. Like all of this breakdown happens. And then that person leaves and they talk bad about the coaching industry, that everyone in the coaching industry is terrible and that this needs to change. How we make the change is by speaking our truth and having our messaging so dialed in that we are only working with our ideal clients. And that's why we do calls. Sure, we could put a link up, go buy the program, but I want to know you. I want to make sure that like you're a match for us and we're a match for you and that this is going to be a good fit for everybody. Because that's how we make the change in the coaching industry. That's how we break the barriers of this trust recession that has happened and all of, I don't dive into like all the negativity of the coaching industry. That's not what I'm going to stand for. But as I got through is like one of the biggest reasons why the negative side of this industry has happened is because people have watered themselves down. They haven't spoken truths. And there has been a being and an awareness through all of this of both parties. And let's change the narrative. Let's change the narrative.
So Terry, that might be a thing of creating creating a community that's on a platform that doesn't censor you. So that might be a thing.
Yeah, I'm in communities on Telegram. I I never knew, like, so I've actually done a couple because I believe coaches have coaches, right? So I definitely have a mentor that I work with, and she does freaking Telegram programs all the time. There's communities that are in Telegram. So get people over in Telegram or a place, I know there's a couple different places, but Telegram seems to be a really cool place to build a community, if that feels aligned for you.
So I want to take responsibility that this is running a little bit longer than we kind of promised. Hopefully this was valuable. Is this worth the running a little bit longer? I know we still have a few minutes here, but I just want to take a responsibility for the length.
But let's make sure we really get the meat and potatoes of this. So I think we got the emphasis on how to really speak clearly to.
So let's talk about Marissa. So Marissa was a client when she came in and she was doing about 2,000. This is like our sweet spot, $2,000 a month. And I remember she was making an impact with clients, but they weren't coming in a consistent basis. She hated marketing.
Hated it.
Hated marketing. Hated having a group. Hated the whole thing. Anybody here in the I Hate Marketing Club?
She was like, "Oh, Facebook group. I don't want a Facebook group. I hate my Facebook group. It's just something else I got to do. I don't want a Facebook group."
Yeah. Yep. And what was the shift?
So the shift was, Marissa was actually a connector. And when we got that, because she hated marketing, of course it wasn't working for her. But she was looking at her messaging of her Facebook group was, okay, here's a Facebook group for gut health. Go join my Facebook group. And it was flat for her. It was flat for her people. There was no like oomph, right? When we got who she is literally here to create a movement with people. And she shifted her I don't have a Facebook group. I am leading a movement of women and mothers and leaders to live the most healthiest life for themselves and so that they could lead their families. Everything shifted for her. She spoke, just like I said, speaking into the mission of what she's here for. She was here for women. She's here for the importance of, like, your gut is everything. Like, your gut is the cornerstone of all of your health, your vitality, your energy, your mental wealth, right? So getting to the, like, I don't just do gut health. I can help you heal your gut. I transform women to have vibrant, energetic lives. Transformed her entire way of being. It transformed her messaging. It transformed her positioning, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Transformed her entire business. She's actually now having her first retreat for women, doing breath work and doing gut health cleaning. And it is phenomenal. Just these little shifts. So it's not that you're not doing it right or that there's something that is, I don't have the pieces or hopeless, like none of that. It could just be little shifts that can move mountains. So, okay, let's talk about positioning yourself as the authority that you are.
Yeah, I'm dropping a link. So if anybody's here, like, I need help creating the movement. I need help creating this messaging. I need help, being able to speak and really powerfully speak and clearly speak to my ideal client and speaking to that power meets power conversation. If you want support with that, go ahead and book the call and we can see if it's aligned and go from there.
Awesome.
Cool.
So why should high caliber prosperous clients choose you over someone else?
Yeah. So this is the thing oh yes, we get to draw. Let's see if I can create a new one, but not the new one.
While he is doing that, I want to give you guys a perspective. Could you not do all of that?
Now what?
Okay. So high caliber clients, you put yourself in this leadership that I know you are, and even you, like you hire the best, right? You're the best, like who's the best at what they do, who activates my soul, who knows what they're talking about, who do I feel and know within every part of me is the one for me. Well, amazing, incredible clients are doing the same thing. So I want you to ask yourself if you were to go look on your social media and your process of where people come, because your Facebook or your Instagram, wherever you go, like that is your business card. And so if you're positioning yourself where people go on, I call it the attractor factor. People know within 3 seconds if they would ever hire you or not.
Yeah,
I think
actually, a
3 seconds might be a little long these days.
yeah, right.
It
So we
used to be
actually,
3 seconds.
so it's funny. We were looking into we're getting into real estate, and I made a post in a real estate group, maybe what, 3 weeks ago?
Something.
3 weeks ago, and a guy, I don't even know if he responded to my post, but he literally went to my profile, read my top pinned post, saw what we do, DM'd me immediately and said, "Hey, I know I didn't come from, like, I saw in the real estate thing, and I know that that's not what I'm messaging you about. I'm actually messaging you about coaching. I saw that you help coaches. Can we jump on a call?" I'm like, "No, we cannot right now. Um, but mind if I ask you a few questions to see if it's a good fit?" And then I qualified him and then booked the call. And you'll see why that's important in a little bit here. But he ended up signing up as he's an investor. He owns trailer parks all over and everything. We actually
Let's call them mobile homes because they're really
mobile,
nice.
yes,
They're not just trailer parks.
top tier mobile home communities, modular home communities. And it's crazy. We've now created a relationship, and we are in the process of signing a deal to put together a deal where we actually own a part of one of his modular home communities, and then we are going to get a percentage. So we're like doing this whole coaching, consulting, a little bit of done for you, and doing that for a year with him, 2 years with him. We're going to own a part of his investment portfolio. Plus, we're going to own a percentage of his business. All from my profile, like going like some posts about real estate in a Facebook group, and him coming over and looking at my profile, and in 3 seconds knowing that we could help him. And
Yeah.
it's just crazy. Like I've been
And
picturing.
that was amazing. And we've had another client, she saw one of my lives, signed up, paid for the year, like I'm in, let's do this. Right? So how you position yourself really freaking matters. So I see a lot of like your picture, your cover, like your post that you put out. Do you have a pin post? Right? So what we're doing here is we're kind of drawing out this process of what this looks like to really build authority in your space.
I just jumped the gun here.
It's okay. So there's two types of people. I've been both. The first type of person is just the value, value, value.
Yes.
Like we are taught, well, you got to give value. Like everyone here is posting every day, right? Like, so why aren't people hiring you the way that you want to? You're showing up every day and you're giving value. That's what they say. Give value and give more value. And here's some more value. Here's some how-to tips of of how this is happening and how to do this. And here's some more value. Okay, I signed a client. There's some more value, more value, more value, more value, all of the value.
Share meme, valuable meme.
Share valuable meme. Hey, sometimes I share memes, but they're intentional. There's purpose for them.
Yes. So there's that person, then there's the other person. And I want you to really assess yourself, like, which one are you? Are you the value, value, value person? Or are you this person over here, which is this is your offer, and you're dropping the offer on the head of your potential client? Drop the offer, drop the offer,
I'm
drop the
sure we've all
offer.
got those messages.
Hey, want to be a
Hey, how are you? I was just messaging to see if you had space to take on more clients. Currently, right now, we're offering our system where we can book your calls, 15 to 20 calls guaranteed of your ideal clients. Would you be interested in this?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, I got like deleted 5 of them out of my messenger today.
So there's that, but then there's also like uh one, like, who wants a energy session for $197? You'll learn that you'll get this, this, and this out of your energy session. Who wants a alignment call with me? You'll get this, this, and this, $97. It's like offer, 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 and there's not really, it's just making offers out there. Nothing's wrong, and you can kind of just let us know which one are you out there. Or you could be the third one, which is not this. It's actually the person that gave up. You did this one and you're like, this does not work. Or you did this one, you're like, this doesn't work. And then you're like, got resigned and cynical, and you said, nah, I'm not going to do either of these. So I'm curious, which one do you feel like you guys are? This is the two-way conversation thing. If you need to jump, get up and do some jumping jacks. Keep the energy going. Maybe some breath work. All right. All right. So the next one, but this is what you really want to do. And this is like our profile is the cold, like, people are coming into your world, they most likely don't know who you are. Unless you're doing maybe reels and they're seeing a reel and they're coming into your world from the reel, but then they're still coming into your profile on whatever platform it is, and that profile needs to be set up to show that you can help them. And then they're going to probably scroll your page, and then they're going to look for some sort of value, and then they're going to go from there. And then it's warm. So now this is your nurturing place. This could be a Facebook group. We talked to Terry about maybe doing a Telegram. Having a place where you can go deeper. So cold is all about helping people see the deeper things to the problems. So what we like to say is, like, most of your clients are in the symptoms. They see the symptom of the problem. I can't sleep well. I have pain of some sort. I'm fat. I'm getting turnover in my job, where people are leaving the thing. That's a symptom. You have what are some other symptoms that people have from, like, coaches? Anxiety, a bunch of stress that
I'm looking in the mirror and I'm not happy. I don't like it. I feel frumpy. Yeah.
In our case, not getting consistent clients, or have so many consistent clients, and now I'm like overwhelmed and I don't have any time. That is the symptom of not having a leverage program. You have all these you have this huge audience, and they love you, but they're not buying anything. These are all symptoms that our ideal clients have. I have one of our clients, she speaks, right? She goes and speaks in front of, like, her ideal clients, but she was not lead genning and creating a lead gen process. So she wasn't getting any clients from her speaking. And so she didn't have a process after, and she didn't have a program. And so those are some symptoms that you could have. You're not attracting your ideal clients. These are all the cold messaging needs to be speaking to the symptoms that people are aware that they have, but in an empowering way. This is a difference between some of the things that I used to do, is speaking to people not in an empowering context, in the sense of, like, you're a leader, you're somebody that's driven, you're somebody that's motivated, you are somebody that is called, you're making a deep impact in the world, but you know that you want more. You're called to make a deep impact in the world, but you don't have a process and a system to be able to bring in cold people that on a consistent basis. You don't have a nurturing process that builds relationship and sets up authority and creates this and shows the process of how you actually help people. you don't have a process that your hot process that gets people to raise their hand and say, I am interested in actually you solving my problem. Like, this is a hot offer right now. I'm going to make it right now. Like, we have we only have like a few spots for our program. And if you're interested, go ahead and book a call right now. There's only so many spots. I only have so much time in the week. So, nothing to buy. So that's a hot offer, right? But you've gone through a warming process. You've gone through this thing. We've had maybe conversations before. You come in somewhere in cold, probably from a Facebook group, and or LinkedIn. I know there's a bunch of people from LinkedIn on here.
Now we're hanging out. We're pretty much besties.
Yeah. And so now we're making a hot offer in front of you. Go book a call. This is the time. You have there's nothing that you can lose. The only thing that could be is that you show up and you get more clarity. I hate that. More clarity. So yeah. So anybody have any questions about cold, warm, or hot? So cold is all about helping them discover what's causing their symptoms. Then you're inviting them to the warming place, wherever that is. And then that is going to be showing the process of how you help people, showing results, testimonials. People don't really care about testimonials until they know that you can actually help them. That's why the cold is important. And that messaging is speaking to the symptoms and to the problems, because they don't know your client had the symptoms and problems if you haven't been speaking to it. And then hot is, hey, I'm looking for 5 people to get this specific result in this specific time. This is not for everyone. You must be this, this, and this. Who is interested?
And there's not a time frame, right? Like, you could go from cold to hot
You
really
can.
quick.
Yeah.
And for some people, that's what's going to happen. For some people, they're like, no, I'm going to dip my foot in here. I'm not big on the cold plunge. Seen you around for a little bit. And it's like, this is where you get to hold the space in your being and your leadership. That's why all of this intertwines together. It all intertwines together. There's been people who have been following us for like 2 to 5 years before they ever join our program. And they're just hanging out in the warming pool. And that's okay. Right. And there's people who, like, one of our clients, they saw it.
Dude, the last
The
two.
last two was like cold and like freaking
Boom.
let's go.
Yes.
Right. So it's the power of your messaging. It's the power of how you position yourself. It's like, keep in mind, it's like, yes, the mission driven content, that is the positioning. And when people see you on your whether you're on Facebook or TikTok, whatever your platform is, LinkedIn, it's like they know, like, you are clear on what you do. You are clear that you are the authority. And there's something this is just coming to me of like being in the friend zone and being the authority. And there's such a dance here. So if you are, posting value, and then like funny memes and like, oh my gosh, if you get the like, oh my gosh, you are so inspiring. I just keep watching you. I saw your content and you just inspired me to go hire a coach.
That's the worst.
Oh my gosh.
Myself.
Right. So there's something through your content that there wasn't enough authority shown of how you help people. Now, on the contrast, if you're all authority, all authority, all authority, all authority, people are going to be like, whoa, like, are you nice?
Are you a real person? Are you a robot?
Can I know you? Right. So there is a dance between not being friend zoned, but not being so authoritative that people are like, I would like to know the real you, please. Is there someone here? Right. So there's a dance here. And just be intentional and aware of the dance.
Yeah.
So
awesome. So I think we're going to skip the next one, of the going back and sharing the thing.
Yeah, I think we should too.
Yeah, I'm done. Oh, but let's share about Marcy though, really quickly though.
Okay, go for it.
So we have a client, Marcy, doing about $2,000 a month.
A pattern.
That's so weird. So there's a couple of things. She came to a bunch of our trainings. And I remember like, well, she was getting a pretty large following on TikTok, but she didn't really have that system. There was also a lot of the energetics. I know she came to some of our trainings even before she became a client and had some major breakthroughs. Um, and in really, I feel like she had to loosen up. Like she's like a doctor, um, and she is very what would you call that?
Amazing.
Amazing. She's very amazing. And but it took her a bit to like really warm up to us, right? I believe there was like I think she had to get in herself that she could do this online stuff. And then I remember when she hired us and it was like off to the races. And I remember like the first month she ended up having our first $10,000 week. She went from $2,000 a month to $10,000 in a week. And now she has around $10,000 recurring revenue coming in, which I think when people say I want $10,000 months, they really actually want $10,000 recurring month. And they
There's a
actually,
big distinction there.
and I think that was probably like in 2020. And now that everybody's like, I need to be at 20,000 recurring revenue because things have like changed a little bit.
Trees have gone up.
We need 20,000 recurring. So, but that's the thing that is so I think the biggest challenge with her is how do we take really cold people that are getting a ton of value from TikTok? And this is the thing, TikTok is like this wild sloth of people, and being able to take them and actually funnel them into actually useful potential clients is very challenging. And so we got to really work through that process. And now I believe she's been able to dial it. And the cool thing is she's been able to do it in her alignment.
Yeah.
So we've attempted to do, VSLs, we've attempted to do different things, but now what we've landed on is she's actually launched an app, and the app seems to be rocking,
Yeah.
right? She's getting people to pay for this app and pay that for on that monthly, but then now so it's like it's not because I wouldn't have really leaned that way, right? Because that's not the way that I would do it. But because we looked at her alignment, we looked at her archetype, and how can we actually create her business in alignment for her, the app made the most sense.
Here.
And so that is the biggest thing that you could take away from her success is we don't jam you into a box and tell you have to do it this way. It's really about creating it in alignment to you.
If you don't do what we say, how we say it in our framework and our cookie cutter, you're wrong. It's your fault.
Yes.
Terrible person. Blah, blah.
Which
Not helping the
authentically
industry.
been there at one point in time a long time ago. So
We all grow and
we've grown.
Yeah.
So who here wants to learn how to create a system that attracts consistent high caliber clients, really makes this impact in the world, but really does it in a way that's aligned to you? Like who wants to actually see how we solve kind of all these challenges?
There's one little hair that's like right in my eye.
Awesome. Terry does.
Awesome.
Anybody else? I mean, we're going to share it for Terry, but if anybody else was, that would be cool. Lorna, awesome. Cece, awesome. All right.
Perfect. All right. So I just want to kind of recap everything that we've gone through. We've gone through a lot today. You've learned more about us. We've learned more about you. We've talked about the being, the identity, the aspects of of your identity that you get to shift. We've talked about shifting your messaging, speaking powerfully into your mission, and being able to position yourself as the go-to authority in that. So what we've covered here has been incredible. And I wish that we had all the time in the world because we could keep going
For days.
for days.
Mhm.
Yes, weeks, months, probably. What we've covered today is just the beginning. So while we talked about it's powerful, this is only a piece. I'm out for you to master the art of client attraction and to consistently enroll these prosperous clients, to build a business that thrives. I want good people to have lots of money because together that's how we're going to make the world such a better place. So what you need is a step-by-step, this impact marketing system. What's the system of bringing people to cold, to warm, to hot? What's the system of being able to reprogram your nervous system and put this all together in alignment to your gifts, to your archetypes, to your design? How do you make this work? And that's exactly why we created Quantum Impact Marketing Mastery. So this program is designed to take you from where you are now to where you want to be, and to build a business that thrives for you, for your clients, for the collective. So in this program, we're going to dive into really advanced identity shifting techniques to align every part of you at your highest vision. We're going to master this high level messaging. How do you speak directly into your clients? How can you create systems for yourself so that you can consistently show up and speak your message powerfully through the ups and through the downs? This is a powerful emotional intelligence. This is leadership. This is creativity. This is putting this all together in alignment to who you are. This program is also about the energetic and the somatic practices. We do regular alignment calls. We do regular somatic work throughout our program and our work together. This is a big piece of the reprogramming your nervous system to be able to hold your vision so that you can follow through with it. And there's absolutely nothing stopping you at a cellular level to be able to do this. This is about creating a step-by-step blueprint for building and scaling your business so that there's confidence. And I'm going to use the word ease, but not easy, but ease. You know what I mean? Like being in your flow. I had a client ask me like, well, it seems like, I'm not the hustle and you guys are really out there, but I don't do it from a place of hustle. I do it from a place of like, I know this is my calling and I know that when I show up, what happens in the world, and I freaking love what I do. It's not, I don't work. I actually had my 4-year-old tell someone while we were in Ohio, we don't have jobs around here. It's like they were talking about something with money and she's like, oh, we don't have jobs. That's the impact when you show up and you truly love what you do. You do what you love in the service of people who love what you do. So Quantum Impact Marketing Mastery is the next step to be able to put this all together. We're going to be covering alignment. We're going to be covering your messaging. We're going to help you create the system, create the VSL, be able to communicate your offer effectively to other people so they see the whole, like you saw our model. We're going to help you create that model and help you put that together into a way that you can communicate effectively and create content effectively within your design. So I will say that Quantum Impact Marketing Mastery is not for everyone. It's for those who are ready to play big like you know you're called to do. You're committed to your growth, and you're ready to work with clients who are on that same wavelength, that genius to genius, that power meets power. So we're opening up a limited number of spots to ensure that each participant, I want you to get what you came from. I'm not here to have a program that has hundreds and hundreds of people in them. I'm here to work with the ones who know they're called, and I want to make sure that you get that. And so because you're here today, I want to offer you just an exclusive opportunity that what we're going to do is you book that call. Again, Chad does not do sales on this first call. He is all about, we want you to be aligned. We want to make sure that you're aligned to us.
Unless you demand it. Sometimes
If you demand it.
I've literally had people go, no, I want to buy now. And sometimes we have to extend the call a little bit. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, in that situation, by all means. But what I want to do, because you're here today, because you showed up, because you stayed to the very end, if you feel like Quantum Impact Marketing Mastery is for you, you feel it in your bones, you're like, this is my next step. I know that these people can help me put this all together and I'm ready to do this. What we're going to do is we are going to include one of our larger programs of True North offers. So Quantum Impact Marketing Mastery is a live program that we are doing together. True North Offers is something that you can go through at your own time. True North Offers is where you're going to develop your program. You're going to get really clear on the foundations of what it is that you teach. We teach you how to put a Google Doc and it's not a sales page because we do very low tech things. Even though we're system people doesn't need to have a lot of high automation. So we talk about the Google Doc, how this enrollment process works. So if you book a call and you decide that Quantum Impact Marketing Mastery is for you and you are on this call, we are going to give you True North offers. And this is going to be good until next Friday.
Yeah. And True North offers the last pricing that the last where it was the last time we were selling it. I mean, now this was with live calls and all that. It's $6,000, right? So this isn't like you're gonna get a PDF or whatever. So this is a legit valuable program that you're gonna get included in this program. If
And we will
you
do it
take
again
action.
live next year.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it next year.
So we have 4 main programs that we run every year, and then we do some fun things in between as we follow our flow. And if you're like, holy smokes, I just want all of it, that can be a conversation with Chad as well and to become a part of the cult coach.
Mhm.
So Chad just dropped the link. I invite you to click that link, pick a time that works best for you, and let's have a conversation about your next steps to really putting all the pieces together and making this happen for you. I thank you for your time. I don't take it lightly that you're here, that you've spent over what we said. Thank you, truly.
Yep. And Jessica, I'll see you in a little bit. And Marie, I'll see you whenever you booked it and see the specific time. So go ahead, smash that link, open it up, pick the time. Then there'll be some questions that you'll have to answer. Go ahead, submit it, and then we will see you. I'll see you on our call.
Bye for now, guys.
Bye.